From the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 158. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's up, sir?
Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed a nice, good week of wrestling. Because I sure as hell did. Don't cut me off. Don't. Holy shit! Brian, you're here!
To my left, Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
Enters with a
Holy shit. The band is back together. Baby!
Yeah!
Don't you know it? And we're here to recap another week in the world of wrestling. But first, let's kick things off, as we always should, with a little bit of backstage news.
Indeed. Let us go ahead and peek behind that curtain. And oh my, look at that. Leaked photos of Charlotte? Nope. As we check in on a little
backstage Charlotte Flair
nudes.
What do you say? Is this meh or not?
Woo!
1 minute in and the show is already off to a roaring start.
Well, it is.
That's what happens when I come back. When me come back. Okay.
We can't talk English good.
You got that right, Brian? You sure? Are you sure you're ready to be back?
Probably not, but I'm here, so let's go.
We're here, we're present. Aside from those photos, which we will not be discussing here,
I think we discussed it enough.
Yeah, that's quite enough. In the meantime, we apparently also Billy Corgan just bought the NWA this week.
I heard
that. He couldn't get TNA, so he got the other half.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. Good for him. He has He finally has a wrestling company. Now let him have fun with it.
And a fairly significant one as far as wrestling history is concerned.
Yeah, as far as wrestling history is concerned, the NWA is big news. As far as today in the industry,
it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing.
But here's the question that's on everybody's mind. How far, under the leadership and resources of one Billy Corgan, how far will the NWA be able to go?
It's all about the talent. It's all about who they have.
Some people have also been speculating that this is all going to be very dependent on whether or not they can get a TV deal for NWA now.
It kind of needs. He needs to basically start from the ground up. And when it comes to presentation, I could see him just doing something like new look, change the logo a bit, to make it a new fresh thing. Basically, keep the history, just update the product for today.
Yeah, and it's
I
also
think you can go fine with it.
It's also for TV deals and stuff. Once again, you need the talent. TV stations aren't going to look at you if you don't have talent and that people want to see, that TV stations believe will bring in the ratings. So he's got some work to do, because I haven't really heard anything about NWA in recent times, and that's a good and a bad thing.
With that, it's like saying, that old fat guy, I thought he was dead.
I thought he was dead. I thought TNA killed him. but apparently not, because Billy Corgan is making it rise from the ashes. So
clever.
How appropriate.
Hopefully he can do something with it. It is Billy Corgan. He's wanted to own a wrestling promotion for a long time. Let's see what he's got.
Yes, indeedy.
Who's on the roster anyway? Is it any real names, or is it just
no one I've ever heard of?
Is it just like small local guys? Pretty much, it's
much smaller local guys. Last I checked, but
when's the last you checked?
Maybe
exactly.
A week ago.
Week ago. Bullshit.
You have no way of knowing. In other news,
you're so full of it.
Well, that's up for discussion. Anyway, in other news. According to the Pro Wrestling Insider, who is checking on a WWE conference call, the WWE Women's Invitational Tournament is supposedly going to start filming in July, supposedly in Full Sail University, but that even then could be subject to change. I think it's been a while since we even talked about this upcoming women's tournament.
I got nothing to say. I really don't.
It's basically the same. It's the same thing as the Cruiserweight tournament. It's the same thing as the UK tournament. It's like we've said all there really is to say until it's time for the tournament to start.
Pretty much,
it's like we've heard basically. When is it happening? The summer?
Yes, supposedly it's going to start filming in July.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, now we have a set date. Okay,
somewhat.
Well, it's more than we ever had.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah.
It's more than we ever had. We've got names. We've had some names announced, right?
Did we?
I don't even recall that. All I know is I've got some favorites to win. That's all I know so far.
I think when we first talked about this, we just threw names in.
Yeah.
Nothing has been officially announced, at least not to my knowledge.
It's just another one of those WWE Network tournaments where we know what's going on. It's a women's tournament. Okay, good. We know when it's filmed. July. Good. And now
we'll just wait another so and so months for the next.
We'll wait a couple. We'll wait a couple weeks. We'll start the announcements for the participants. Will start coming in, and then there's really nothing I have to add until it's actually filming and we're watching it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's really it.
Yeah, given the eye for talent, though, I've got some high hopes for this tournament.
The UK tournament was awesome. The Cruiserweight tournament was awesome. I have all. It's weird that in outsider tournaments, I have all the faith in the world in the WWE for their own company. Brands, I have no faith in them whatsoever. But
because Vince McMahon hates tournaments. That's why the King of the Ring isn't around. Because tournaments are an old thing of the past, and no other sport uses brackets.
You can't see it right now, but Tarek is making the most glazed over, annoyed sarcasm face I've ever seen.
I mean, come on. It's with the King of the Ring tournament specifically when it comes to tournaments in WWE.
Yeah,
that was one of the most fun events and just experiences because when they had it during Raw and SmackDown and then the final 4 of the old days when it was actually a pay-per-view and not just a network special.
And then they killed it by making it a main event special.
Oh dear. Now's a chance to redo it right. And personally,
well, I mean, they've done it right twice in a row. But maybe
because the last King, he has such a successal run in WWE.
Well, I'm not even talking about King of the Ring anymore. I'm going back to they've done so well with the first 2
horrible transition, Brian.
Tournaments.
Hey,
keep going.
All I know is as long as I get Kairi Hojo and Taylor Hendricks in this thing, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, they've done so well with the first 2 network tournaments that I have all the faith in them in the world to get this third one right. King of the Ring withstanding, tournaments in the WWE have been pretty good.
Here's a scholar's quick talk for both of you. Gail Kim?
She exists, yes.
No, as a part of the tournament.
Is she still in TNA?
No, she is not.
Then
I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to go with no also because I don't think they put her in the tournament. If they bring her back, they're going to put her on the main roster, Mickie James style.
Yeah, I think
I
this
could see them doing
a
Tajiri style with the Cruiserweight tournament.
It's possible. The possibility does exist, but personally, I think they're going to forego that and just bring in more fresher talent. Not that Gail Kim's old by any means. I'm just going to go with more fresher talent, I guess.
I could just see them putting her in there just to put an established name.
But it's
maybe.
Also
more than anything.
Again, the possibility is out there. Yes.
And the Brian Kendricks, you hadn't really seen them on TV at all.
Well, Tajiri's gone.
No, not WWE or anything like that on TV in any promotion since they went off at the WWE because they went to ROH in Japan and whatever. So you hadn't really you hadn't really seen them, so it's like, okay, bring them back on the tournament. Gail Kim was just a longtime champion for TNA, and one of the big faces. I can see where you're coming from, but I think that if they brought her back, they would do it Mickie James style.
I see it both ways. Mickie James mixed with a little Tajiri. That's an interesting combo,
right?
Yeah,
the Crazy Mist.
Yeah, that's a road I don't feel like I should go down right now.
You're saying it like it's a awkwardly weird thing. It's not really.
You're right, it's not. Moving on. So yeah, that's all the backstage news we've got for this week. So let's get right back into the week that was in professional wrestling by talking about WWE Payback 2017.
Hey, remember when we thought this show was going to be shit?
Remember when when the world thought this show was going to be shit? Don't give me that. You were trolling last week's episode. You're full of it.
No, I was going to fully enjoy the spectacle that followed.
No, you weren't.
Oh, yes, I did.
You were the biggest troll.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I can enjoy my troll time. Thank you very much.
You can enjoy your troll time, but you're not. You were just like the rest of us, the rest of the world, and we're just like, God, this show is not going to be good.
I don't know. I saw some really mixed reviews for this leading up to it, but well, again, let's get right into the show.
We're not talking about the show itself. We're talking about the build to it and the anticipation.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Before getting into this pay-per-view, if you had listened in the weeks beforehand, I had no interest in this pay-per-view whatsoever.
I don't think anybody did.
I did not care. It was just gonna be a whole bunch of rematches. They didn't build it well.
No, they didn't.
It's all. I did not care.
I'm still going to give that criticism to the event. The build was just not good.
Well, hey, let's get right into it and see how well or how not well this show delivered. First off, kicking things off on the kickoff show, we have Enzo and Cass defeating the Club. I honestly did not get a chance to see this one.
You're not missing anything.
It was short. It was sweet. It wasn't
sweet. It was.
It was perfectly acceptable.
To quote you, Brian, it was meh. It really was. And now they're continuing it like nothing happened.
I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. It was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically all you gotta. That's basically all you gotta say.
Was there
for
even
that
really
match.
anything memorable from this match?
No, but as I said, it's one of those. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It was just there. It was on the screen, so I watched it.
At least we had a good Miz TV segment with Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. And he's just like, so what are you going to do? Screw that. I'm getting my Universal title back. I don't give a shit if Brock Lesnar's holding it. I want it back. And why am I even talking to you, Miz? You're not even worth my time. And then he's like, oh yeah, you want to go, bro? You want to go, bro?
Smack.
That was it. And Miz did end up becoming a bitch.
Of course.
And what does Finn Balor call it? That I got my ass kicked by Finn Balor Club?
Okay, then.
Is that what he calls it now? Get off your phone.
I didn't see any. I didn't see any of the pre-show, so I didn't.
Well, you watched Raw.
Most of it, anyway.
Okay. Well, he's like, well, yeah, you can say I joined the Finn Balor kicked my ass club. I think that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. Moving on to the main roster.
And that entire thing on Raw with the four of them was awesome. So.
I got my own bone to pick with that, even though it was awesome. But I have a bone to pick with it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you do.
Of course. Well, it is something that you guys can agree on, to an extent, probably, because I could just tell.
Well, elsewhere, we still do have the rest of the main show, which kicked off with Chris Jericho defeating Kevin Owens. I actually have Kevin's Owens on this sheet.
But there you go. It's one of those days.
Yes, it is. But either way, this is the first big surprise for me of the night.
This was the shocker period. I was very surprised with this.
I didn't get it at the time, but I get it now.
Well, yeah.
Okay, it's one of those. The WWE wanted Chris Jericho to get a big win on his way out. Okay, get his payback for everything that Kevin Owens did to him. And then they decided to have Kevin Owens murk him on SmackDown, get his title back, and just take him out. So you got the feel-good moment of Chris Jericho getting revenge for what in a brilliant move of Kevin Owens trying to do the finger again, and Jericho
he succeeded,
and then Jericho just took out the hand
with the steel steps,
and put it back on him. So it's like,
to be perfectly honest, I was really hoping he would do a lion tamer than the Walls of Jericho, because that usually is the one that is really the end of the match. That's why that's also why that's why I did like that he actually used the Walls of Jericho, because it was very unexpected, because he rarely wins with the Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, because you're like, Kevin Owens just got to get out of it again. He's got to find another way, and then he's tapping, and you're like, what?
Wait, what?
Hold on.
That just happened.
And that is the definition of a good surprise.
Yes, it was.
There are bad surprises and there are good surprises. This surprise was good. Didn't really make sense to me at the moment, because it's like Jericho's leaving.
It's just
Jericho. This makes no sense.
It's just. I said it once and I said it again. It is just so hard to really bet against Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
he really.
Well, that's
really
your first mistake.
Well, you did it too. So
did I.
Stop it.
We all.
I'm not talking about quality of wrestling.
We're just neither were we.
It's like, oh yeah, he's just in this to put so and so over. Wait, really? He just won? He won against AJ Styles. He won against Kevin Owens. What?
He won against Bray Wyatt back in the day.
Bray Wyatt, Pumpkin. What?
So it's like
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. What?
What?
And then on SmackDown, it all made complete sense at the end of it, because you get the mega.
I'm not finished with you.
You get the mega heel heat on Kevin Owens, because he just annihilated.
He's back to being the face of America.
Who's
also Canadian.
He just annihilated Jericho, took him out, sent him on his way to Fozzyland. Which, hey, Jericho, your single's great. Okay, I listened to it on the drive to the show tonight. And it's probably the best song I've ever heard you do. Okay, so have fun on your tour with Fozzy, but in a couple months or so, come back, because the last run was one of the greatest things I've seen you do since 2008.
Oh yeah,
okay,
easily. If he wants to come back and do a little something with WWE again, they're gonna welcome him back with open arms. That one's obvious.
He has to come back with the Dean Ambrose flight jacket.
Oh
yes,
continuity.
At least on the first episode, he comes back.
Oh brother, I'm
sorry. I thought that was great.
He interrupts. He interrupts Dean Ambrose during a promo and just be like, "It's broken."
No, he can't. He can't. He's on. Dean Ambrose is on Raw. Jericho's on SmackDown now.
But it's Jericho. Jericho can come back to any show he wants.
No, he cannot. He's now a SmackDown guy. Welcome to SmackDown is Jericho.
As far as I'm concerned, it would
depend.
It would depend entirely on how long his break is and when he comes back.
I don't think it's going to be a long break.
No, not this time. I mean, the last couple times I could understand it being long because the runs were lackluster and he really didn't do much. But this one was so great, I think that he'd want to get back in the saddle again pretty quickly. He's going to do his album release tour with Fozzy for a couple months. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back by SummerSlam.
All right. Let's see if you're right. In the meantime, we have, for the Cruiserweight Championship, Austin Aries beat Neville by disqualification.
Got me a point.
God damn it.
Actually, okay, got all three of us a point, actually. I think all three of us picked Austin Aries.
Picked Austin Aries, but I got the point, but I thought he was going to walk out champion.
I will say...
I did as well.
Well, yeah. I will say, though, with the result of how it happened, I actually don't mind it. This is like the good disqualification.
Where the feud actually continues.
Where it actually, like, it gives Austin Aries. He did beat Neville.
Yeah.
He did beat him, and
he had him in the submission hold. He could not get out, but instead of tapping, he grabbed the referee.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's the type of disqualification where I just look at him like, you know what? I like this. Because it doesn't hurt any of them. Because it was still a great match.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt any of them, and we'll have a gimmick match now to blow off this feud, which will probably be when Austin Aries gets the title. But it's...
I keep wanting Iron Man match, but they're probably not.
No, they're probably going to do with the DQ. It'll probably be something where
maybe 2 out of 3 or something.
I can honestly just see it being a no disqualification match.
I miss those matches though. I really do. Those matches were entertaining.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening. I'm sure someone's got to give us one at some point. With the way everyone's conditioned. It's got to happen eventually.
But yeah, it was definitely a good match. It was fun to watch. It was a little short for my taste, but it did its job well.
Mm-hmm. Moving on. Next match, we've got the Hardy Boys defeating Cesaro and Sheamus.
It was a good match. It was very brutal. Not just because Sheamus kicked out Jeff Hardy's tooth. I mean,
which was nutty.
It really was. It was definitely one. It was definitely one of those matches. Like you see these 4 guys, they know how to really work with each other.
They know how to work with each other. I guarantee you, before the match, they were talking to each other. They were like, hit me with everything you got. Which is probably why Sheamus kicked him right in the mouth.
It was like, all right, fella.
All right, fella. We're gonna make
told me that.
We're gonna make this match as stiff as possible, fella. We're gonna take each other out. We're gonna make each other bleed. But in the end, it was just Matt Hardy that ended up bleeding and Jeff Hardy that lost a tooth.
And he's not broken yet.
Broken.
It's starting.
Not broken yet, it's starting.
Oh, please break it. Please break Matt Hardy. Bring it to WWE.
They'll break him, but I feel like with the way he started, it's got to be gradual. Now, with the way he started in the WWE, they can't just he's Matt Hardy 1 second, and then the next second he's completely fuck nuts TNA broken Matt Hardy. I'm like, at this point for me. It's got to be a gradual descent.
I agree.
Into broken hood.
Oh, but I want my broken Matt Hardy now.
Well,
enjoy those cookies when they're nice and cooked.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I want the batter in my face.
The big story of this match, okay, is the big heel turn at the end, where Sheamus and Cesaro just lay waste to Jeff Hardy. And like you could see it coming for weeks now. All the respect that they were showing. Oh, I lost. Shake the hand. Oh, I lost again. Shake the hand. Normally 3rd time's the charm, and you're like, screw this. I'm taking you out now. and very gradual, very good build to this turn that I'm gonna be interested to see Cesaro back as a heel with Sheamus being the heavy hitting heel tag team that the club should have been.
Yeah, well, again,
heel or face, Cesaro is my man. There's nothing Cesaro can't do.
I feel like they're going to build up Cesaro and Sheamus the way that the club should have been built up when they bought in.
I think so too. They're going to be the number 1 heel tag team.
They're going to be the number 1 heel tag team that the heavy hitters just like, we don't give a crap. We're just going to take everybody out.
They are the bar.
As long as they get to break the Hardys, as long as the Hardys get broken, that's all I care about. That's it. In the meantime, we have another match. We got the women's title match. Alexa Bliss defeated Bayley.
Yes. I'm very happy to be proven wrong because this is the best thing for Alexa Bliss. I said it when she first won the titles that she should have earned her title victory, and this was that. She earned that title victory. It was great.
Honestly,
still a threat.
Honestly, I can say this right now with the utmost confidence. The best female character in the WWE right now is Alexa Bliss.
She is
character-wise.
She is now a full, complete character. She's great on the mic. She's a great heel. She knows what to say, how to respond get a response from the crowd, how to respond to the crowd with all their bullshit chants. Seriously,
and I honestly think
I like her face.
And I like her face. I like her body. I like her everything.
I like a lot more than her face.
I'm saying she's got great facial expressions. Her face is very expressive.
Yes.
He's in love.
Yes. Indeed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
sure. But it... And the WWE notices, and that's why she's the first ever Raw and SmackDown. She's held both titles. She's the first
love
one
that.
ever.
I even loved. I don't know if you guys watched Raw Talk after Payback, and she had pointed out, it's like when the whole women's revolution was first brought up, all that was talked about were the 4 horsewomen, which Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch. But hey, none of them won the Raw and the SmackDown women's title. I have. She's just like, that's right. That is how you build a full-fledged heel.
Put everyone on blast.
Put everyone on blast.
I even loved what she did on the 8 women tag team that was on Raw, I believe, or was it 6? Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox.
I think it was 6.
I think it was 6 too.
I think it was 6.
And I just love when she actually just first bumped into Nia Jax. Like, oh yeah, we're good. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? We're good.
How you doing?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I did enjoy that little segment. I thought it was funny.
I'm very glad. Like, this is her earning that spot to being the number one woman in WWE.
When she first came up, you had no clue.
It's like you like her, you know she has a future. But that's it. That was all you think. Okay, yeah. And it's like I said when she won the SmackDown Women's title. I hated how she won the first Women's title.
Because in NXT, they didn't really build her up all that great the way that they have on WWE. So it was like kind of out of nowhere that they gave her the number 1 contender spot right away. It's like, huh? But she bought in the Harley Quinn type character, and it works. It works. The crowd responds, and the WWE notices, and that's why she's where she's at right now. And
I hope she keeps that belt for a good while.
Yeah, and sorry, Bayley, but your first run is the WWE Women's Champion,
Raw
Women's Champion.
Get it? Come on, there's 2 women's titles now, bro.
Just WWE did you wrong, Bayley. Did you wrong from the start?
Hey, at least now all the 4 horsewomen have held the title. Now it's anybody's ball game. Like the requisite champions have gotten have held the title. They've touched it. Now it's anyone's ball game. Now anybody can win it, and that's one dynamic that I really, really enjoy. Elsewhere, I believe we had a pre-taped House of Horror shenanigans in which Bray Wyatt technically won. Walk us through this.
This match was, all I can say really, this match was stupid. It was ridiculous. It was corny. It was just flat out garbage.
But
I loved every second of it. It was so bad. It was one of those. It was so bad. It was good. It was the Room bad. Because it was just so corny and ridiculous.
This is the perfect example.
I'm like, okay, the biggest problem that people seem to have when now they're criticizing this match is that, like, God, this was just so stupid. It was just so worthless, complete waste of time. And my argument to that was, what the hell were you expecting out of this? We all were saying from the beginning, this was going to be stupid. This was going to be
dumb. A horrors match? What the fuck is that?
We don't seriously. They gave no information until the last week when they said it was going to start in the house and end in the ring, and we're like, "Oh my god, are they serious?"
And
everyone was just saying this was going to be the dumbest thing ever.
And it was.
And it was
awesome.
And it was. But people are not accepting that it was dumb, apparently. Or they were accepting it was dumb, but they weren't having fun with it. They were being too critical with it. I always feel like with all the people from Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, to even a friend of mine from the Sports Courier, Fred Ricciani. Hi, Fred. They were all talking down on this match, saying how it was just so incredibly bad. And I'm just looking there, I'm like, yeah, I kind of think that was the point. It was supposed to be bad. And it's such a shame when I found out that Michael Hayes was the brains behind this operation, because I really don't like Michael Hayes. But I was just looking at this and I'm just going, okay, this is really fun. I'm enjoying this. The only criticism I have with this is the fact that they had to have Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers interfere at the end, because it's the big thing. Really, Bray Wyatt needed Jinder Mahal to help win this match? Even if he didn't want it, it's still...
I get that it's furthering the WWE title story. Okay? However, this is a feud that has been... This goes back to Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. It's the same thing that I said back then. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt is a feud that has been brewing since the night after SummerSlam. It's coming to a head at Payback, and you kill it off with Jinder Mahal. What? Bray Wyatt was the offender for the first case that I brought up. Now he's the one that, quote unquote, needed the help.
I am really intrigued of what they're gonna do. I like the segment that he had with Kurt Angle. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna say it late. I'm gonna talk about it later. I guess we can put this under the Scholars Quick Talk category, or in this case, the Tarek steps on the soapbox and rants category. But I am intrigued of what he's going to do with Finn Balor. But I'm also kind of because he's facing Finn Balor.
Well,
there's like, it's like, oh yeah, he's facing Finn Balor. Oh wait a minute, he's facing Finn Balor. But it's not. I'm not saying it as if it's a bad, like these two can't put on a bad match. I'm just looking at this from a storyline.
You know that Bray Wyatt's gonna lose.
I'm just looking at this at a storyline perspective. And it's just one of the biggest... It's once again continuing the biggest criticism that Bray Wyatt has. When it comes to the big feuds, he can't get it done.
Because you know that Finn Balor isn't losing that feud.
Exactly.
You know from the start. So
it's funny. He's like, will it hurt Finn Balor? No. Absolutely not. No chance. I'm going to pull a Vince McMahon. No chance in hell. But... Well, even WWE says wins and losses don't matter anymore, apparently.
Which was the worst thing they could have ever said. But don't get me started on my soapbox now.
But yeah, trust me, I agree on that. I think it's just as much bullshit now as it was when they first said it. I love the match because it was terrible. It was the Room for me. It was Mae Young giving birth to a hand, stupid, and the hand coming back for the Raw anniversary show as a grown adult. It was that bad. And if you people out there are just going in this one, like, ready to hate it and not just try and be an open mind of how stupid fun it is, then you're really missing the point. I mean, we've had so much stupid shit in WWE over the years, and this one takes the cake.
As soon as you heard Bray Wyatt say, "I'll see you in the House of Horrors," you knew this was going to be shit. You knew that this was going to be bad. You knew it was going to be stupid. But it's Bray Wyatt. It's Randy Orton. Okay, they'll find a way to make stupid entertaining. And for me, they did the job. The pre-taped segment was some of the best trash I have ever seen in the WWE. When they got into the ring, it got a little dumb with Jinder Mahal and all that. But all in all, I was like, what did you expect? I got exactly what I expected, and I enjoyed it.
What did you think, Fool? We haven't gotten your real opinion on this.
I think this is one of those instances when they really tried to be the final deletion. It was not nearly as good as what the final deletion was. I still got some enjoyment out of it. It's, again, like you said, it's kind of what I expected. However, I thought the just Jinder Mahal of all people showing up and interfering was
he's the number one contender.
An interesting twist. But yeah, before I move on, I do have to say one thing in closing about that match, though. Green napkins. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to pull another Scholar's Quick Talk. Now that the Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton feud is officially over, when you look at the entire feud, up or down?
Overall, up.
Overall?
I'm going to go slightly up. August to the beginning of March. All the way up. Awesome. The build up to the breakup and all that, and all that was great. But I kind of fell off board a little bit with the burning of the house, and nobody knows who's the face and the heel, and then the House of Horrors thing, and it's still up for the greatness that was August through February, but WrestleMania season and Payback, it got really, really corny, and like the storyline, not in a good way. And not in a good way corny. The House of Horrors match, good corny. The storyline building, putting it all together, bad corny. That's it.
For me, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. We've been talking about this for so long that it's basically used to put Bray Wyatt over. But in the end, he was put over with help from pretty much a jobber turned number one contender. When you look at the first bout when they were going against each other, they said they respected it. It was at that point where we're just like, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not sure if this is good or bad. And then Randy Orton joined them. Then while they were together, it was quite possibly the best thing that they did of their whole storyline. And then Randy Orton was, of course, being the python, the snake in the grass. He struck when he knew he had it. We got a great title win from Bray Wyatt when he pinned John Cena and AJ Styles.
And then they kind of
and then Orton said, "First, I'm not gonna face you, but really I am." Even though we had the 2 weeks build to have a new number one contender, and now that means absolutely jack shit. And then Bray Wyatt was made to look like a gullible idiot for trusting Orton, and now he burned down his house. And they started hinting at the fact that he may have absorbed Sister Abigail's power, which, all in all, led to nothing.
It was a good idea at the time. We called it a good idea, and then they went to WrestleMania, and all they did was
show cockroaches and different sorts of insects.
I still enjoyed that.
That was good because nothing's like that's happened.
But if you absorb
the match itself,
if you absorbed that kind of power, you'd think he'd be able to kick out of an RKO. I don't care that he got hit with one on the outside of the ring before that. Okay, if you got if you're trying to do this Undertaker type storyline, you're absorbing the power of your dead quote unquote sister. Okay, you absorb her power but all it does is make you do creepy images, and you can't even kick out a one finisher.
Which is leading me to believe that this match had time cut from it because of the structure of the overall show.
I think so too.
Oh, I understand.
But overall,
they did it to a point where it hurt the match, and then we got the payback storyline.
Either way. But the point I'm trying to make is, that this whole feud might not have ended in the way that we might have liked, or it may not have. It may have its fair share of low moments, but overall, definitely, I can't judge this feud by how it ended. And the good of it definitely by far outweighed the bad, and that's why I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, the 6 months of greatness was enough for me to not put it in thumbs down territory. Even though the major events of the storyline happened in the last 2 months that were kind of a downer.
Plus, if nothing else, we did still get WWE Champion Bray Wyatt out of the deal, so. That to me is always going to be a plus. But moving on, we still have a couple more matches to talk about. First we've got Seth Rollins beating Samoa Joe.
I actually did like this match. It was slower than I thought it was going to be, but from what we've seen on Raw, this is just the beginning, and they're going to have a blow off match eventually.
Well. Hopefully it's better than this one, because this match actually disappointed me. It was I was bored.
I'm not gonna. I was. There were parts of the match I was getting bored as well, but I was still intrigued because I like Joe. I like I like Joe. I like Rollins. I want to see where they're gonna go next.
I do like the ending. That Joe was so focused on hurting Seth Rollins that all Seth Rollins had to do was do what he did to get the win and get out of there.
He's the architect. He's the planner. He sees the opening.
I like the idea because it doesn't hurt Samoa Joe at all in character wise, because it's like he's so busy trying to hurt Seth Rollins that Seth Rollins sneaks up and gets the quick victory and gets out of there. And Samoa Joe will just come back out on Raw and try to hurt him again.
The best way to put it, how you were saying, is that he underestimated Seth Rollins.
I wouldn't even say he underestimated
because he was so focused on hurting him that the point where he was I guess you could quote selling his knee injury to a point where it's just like, I got you where I want, and I'm just right now here to hurt you. I don't care about things right now.
I don't care about winning. That's why I'm like, it makes sense for Samoa Joe's character for that to be the case. So it doesn't hurt him at all. He was so focused on hurting Seth Rollins that he didn't care if he beat him. He just wanted to hurt him, and that's how Seth Rollins was able to pick up the victory.
I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, he won the battle, but he hasn't won the war yet.
The war has just begun.
But I really hope that the blow-off match isn't as slow-paced.
It's not going to. You know it's not.
I hope. Yeah, I feel like I actually forgot a lot of what happened in this match just because of the slow pacing of it.
Yeah.
However, one thing I did not forget is the ending to this final match of the night.
I told you it was going to be a final match.
Braun Strowman, I'm glad you did. Braun Strowman defeated Roman Reigns.
You really thought Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens was going to close the show last week?
I thought it was possible.
No. Absolutely.
But
it's Roman.
It's Roman and Braun. It's
Roman Reigns.
What I love about this...
For a second there, I thought you were going to say it's Golden Grams. Well, I like cereal.
What I love about this, and it has nothing to do with the match itself, is that both of you guys and the Charlie and JML, who I was watching the show with,
and the Charlie.
What did I say?
You said and the
Charlie and JML,
and the Charlie and the JML,
and the Charlie and the JML. They were all just looking down on me. It's like, Roman is gonna win, right? I'm like, no, he's not. They're giving this to Braun.
Ooh,
Damn troll.
Roman's got to win in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna win in the end, sure.
Roman always wins.
But I'm happy that they gave Braun a clean victory, and I'm like,
do it.
Watching it.
And now I can't wait to see him face Brock Lesnar.
That's gonna be explosion.
Yeah.
Hell, that's gonna blow the ring. That's gonna collapse the ring again.
Yeah. I mean, like we all know where this is going in the end, but they've reached the point now where a loss to Roman Reigns is not gonna hurt Braun Strowman because he's beat the crap out of him, put him in the hospital.
Let me ask you.
And then
let me ask you guys. With the big spot was him taking the steel steps and basically crushing his ribs. Has that ever happened on WWE TV?
Throwing the stairs and crushing.
No, not. Well, throwing, yes, he has thrown it at multiple people.
Throwing and crushing the ribs.
But basically lifting it up over his head and slamming it onto Roman Reigns, that's never happened before.
The only Roman Reigns or just
in general?
I could have sworn it happened before.
I can't think of a single time. The only times I ever thought that happened is when I was playing the WWE video games. I'm not joking.
I know you're not, and it's sort of weirding me out now. Is like, did I just imagine that happened because I did it in a video game? Is that what happened right now? Is that what's happening right now?
Because I do it every match in a video game,
pretty much. So I'm looking at him like, that is. I'm like, I see him lifting up the thing over his head. I'm like, I wonder who's going to come out and distract him so he doesn't. Holy shit! He dropped it on him. It's like, God damn, that is sick.
Braun does not care.
It was such a great match, and then all of a sudden they kind of, I wouldn't say ruin it, but they kind of hurt it with him pulling a Sean Stasiak after the show and running through the ambulance door. I'm not finished with you. No, he didn't just crash. He ran straight through that thing into those boxes. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is reminding me of Sean Stasiak when they had the bounty on, what was it, DX?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And you just had Sean Stasiak just attacking everywhere he can. Like him jumping from out of nowhere after they moved back. That's what I thought of this. I was like, that is so corny.
Why do you have to ruin this for me?
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm having too much fun with this.
Just wait until the big dog comes back and takes his win back.
And of course, they had to find some way. They had to find some way to keep both guys off TV. He quote broke his rotator cuff. This is just so ridiculous. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Braun is just amazing. I'm so upset that I haven't gotten his shirt yet.
Yeah, a lot of things on Raw are ridiculous in nature, but the ridiculousness is now good.
It's a good. The show
instead of bad.
Raw this past week was actually a really decent show.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hate it.
So overall, what facial hair rating would you give to Payback 2017?
Considering how low I was on the show going into it, I really enjoyed myself. Not enough to give it a goat face, but enough to be fully conscious of the fact that I'm giving it a full beard.
Honestly, I gotta second that. I was sort of going back and forth, but in my eyes, this show was pretty solid, barring a few missteps here and there. But yeah, I'll go with full beard.
I'm gonna go with how I felt after the show was over, because I just remember driving home and I'm just thinking, God, this was actually a good show. Continuing driving home, you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, this is actually a great show. I want to watch it again. That's how I felt on it, because I'm just thinking of all the things that I did really enjoy, but then the nitpicking came after, like pretty much the next day, and all that. But I'm just going with how I initially felt when I first watched it, and I'm going to give it a goat face, because I had so much fun on this show. Every match I did somewhat enjoy myself. I actually didn't watch the pre-show when I got there. I just missed the ending of the pre-show and the main show started. But from what I saw, I had so much fun. I was in a good place. I was enjoying myself, and I was just enjoying the wrestling because the wrestling was really, really good. For the most part. I mean, we did say that the Seth Rollins Samoa Joe was slow, and there's the House of Horror match was just flat out ridiculous. But once again, it was stupid fun. I was enjoying myself. I couldn't wait to watch it again. So it's not going to be released. It's not going to be released. The goat face. It's just a normal goat face.
Hey, that's fair.
It's honestly the best show Raw has done.
Groovy.
Since the
best Raw
since the draft.
The best Raw pay-per-view, no doubt.
I dig it.
Easily. But this just in, I'm reading. I found something on Twitter for Braun Strowman, a nickname, the undisputed king of no fucks given.
That's it.
Oh, I hope someone picks that up.
Spotlight.
Unofficially, spotlight.
There's nothing Braun can't do.
But anyway, before we take this thing home, Fool, do you have any last Scholars Quick Talk for us?
I do have a Scholars Quick Talk, but more this is, I said it earlier, this is the Scholar Tarek stepping on the soapbox. Not even quick talk, just Scholars on the soapbox talk.
Okay, please be gentle.
Because, well, I will try my best. It's keeping him with the Payback, or in this case, the Raw end, because we'll go back to SmackDown next week. But, which, SmackDown was actually a good show, too.
So what do you got for us?
What I loved about this Raw was the fact that, A, Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman were off TV, so it gave the idea of there's Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar, right? They're their own league now, since with the Undisputed Championship. But now, since all three of them are gone off TV for this week, the next storyline is the title that Dean Ambrose said is there, and then while the Universal Champion is doing whatnot on the farm. This is the champion that you should be going for. And it's just Dean Ambrose pushing the Intercontinental Championship to the moon.
That I did appreciate, yes.
And I love that he's like, you had these great former world champions, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Dean Ambrose, and The Miz, all really talking about how great the Intercontinental Championship is the championship worth fighting for right now. And I thought the phone bit where he called Kurt Angle, like, how'd you get my number? It was written on the back of a business card. I'm sorry. As soon as he said that, that's immediately popped into my head. I like Dean Ambrose interviewing each member backstage.
Back to you, Gorilla.
Back to you, Gorilla.
That I loved. That was great.
He did it with the other skits too.
And I really liked the callback line for Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins was like, maybe I'll surprise you, and Dean Ambrose was like, I've been surprised once, it won't happen again.
And I'm watching this exactly. I was watching these interviews and I'm just like, this is amazing, because this is about the Intercontinental Championship. I'm loving every second about this. And we've even said it on the show before. It's like, well, with Finn Balor coming back and you have Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns, we're not going to see Finn Balor really go for the title, at least anytime soon. Let's have him get the Intercontinental Championship. So I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do it. And, of course, as awesome as that main event was, they kind of had to ruin it with Samoa Joe interfering on Seth Rollins, understandable to keep their feud going, but then Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor, understandable to start their feud. So all you get is the one guy, I love this guy, to go after the Intercontinental Championship, which is basically, it's like, oh yeah, with these guys are more important, so we're going to throw them in their own important storyline. Let's just, we have nothing for the Intercontinental Championship, let's just have The Miz go after it. I just felt like everything that they built up with the Intercontinental Championship is, I felt like they ruined it by just having The Miz giving Finn Balor his first loss in WWE, and it was because of an outside interference. When it comes to The Miz on Raw, I thought his stock is slowly going down. when it was on SmackDown, it was going back up. It was him taking the opportunity in the land of opportunity of SmackDown and basically being a point where it's like, I want to see him as world champion again. The second he got on Raw, he's just been nothing more than people's bitch.
Yep.
He has been taking dirty deeds. He's been getting his ass kicked by Finn Balor. He's just been getting his ass kicked. And the fact that he basically had to go back to the point before pre-draft where he's just miraculously winning because of other people's stuff is just like, I love The Miz. I don't want to see him as Intercontinental Champion again because it'll just push the title down.
It's been there, done that.
It's been there, done that, and it's how people are complaining that it's just a recycled storyline with Raw. Yes, it gives them something to do, but there are other names that you can establish by going after the Intercontinental title. We can't just keep getting Miz and Ambrose.
Yeah.
And now I want to step off my soapbox, please. I pretty much said what I needed to say.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree completely. I called this a recycled storyline from the second that the Miz and Dean Ambrose came out
for the
shakeup and Dirty Deeds, the Miz. I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Okay. I mean, we're talking about all new changes for storylines, all new players, and no, we're just going to do a SmackDown storyline on Raw. That's what we're going to do. And as much as I wanted Finn Balor or Seth Rollins to take it, I knew it was going to be The Miz. I knew from the very beginning it was going to be The Miz because they had built up this storyline with Dean Ambrose. Okay, they hadn't done anything to finish it Raw-wise. They hadn't done anything to finish it. So you're gonna kill it off with a match.
I hope that I don't want Miz to win it again. I don't want. Personally, I would have been happy with either Seth Rollins or Finn Balor because I'm just looking at the end, the long run with the other feuds. Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor when you have the Intercontinental Championship involved. Or not right away involved, but eventually involved. That's fun. Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, they would put on a great Intercontinental Championship match. That's great too. I don't want them. I feel like, once again, if Miz wins it, it's just lowering the bar of the Intercontinental Championship.
Which is why I don't think it's going to happen. There's way too many good elements at work here to make me... Again, we've been here before. I have a real hard time thinking this is going... If they do it again, it's not going to last for very long at all. So those are our predictions. Now we want to know what you think. So, of course, as always, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of either WWE Payback, the focus of Raw, the future of the Intercontinental title. We want to know what you would think. Leave us a comment in the comments section below. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check us out on Facebook. Just look for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. And, of course, you can always follow us on our Twitter machines, as we always like to do. Main page, @ScholarsOW. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can personally. You can reach me at The Avataric.
Brian.
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. And there we are. That's another week in the books.
He knows because I tried to call him out, and if he got the lowest score on the predictions, that he would have to change his name to I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. He never took it. But I'm actually going to keep asking you each prediction show. Put that on the line.
I will not do so.
I will do it too if we shook hands and do it. But now that he's trying to avoid it, and
I'm not even trying to avoid it.
Honestly, on the soft side, on the bright side, you weren't the lowest score.
I'm not even trying to. Really, I'm not even trying to avoid that. I'm just trying to keep myself focused and on track.
Sure, you are.
Because you already know who we are. We're the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. Let's take it home already.
You see him trying to avoid this?
Very miserable.
Oh, I'm going to get you, boy.